Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Latika Burke.
Yes, happy birthday, Globsec. Okay, well, for a slight change of tune now, ladies and gentlemen, to close day 2 of the forum, please welcome to the stage the Archbishop Paul Gallagher, Secretary for Relations with States of the Holy See, to deliver his address, A Call for Peace in a Fragmented World. Archbishop.
Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, peace be with you. These were the first words spoken by the risen Christ to his disciples, words that Pope Leo XIV echoed from the central loggia of St. Peter's Basilica on the evening of his election just 1 month ago on the 8th of May 2025. It is the peace of the risen Christ, a peace that is unarmed and disarming, humble and persevering, a peace that comes from God, the God who loves us all unconditionally. Let us move forward without fear, together, hand in hand with God and with one another. This greeting, simple yet profound, captures the very heart of the Holy See's vision, a peace not forged in weapons, nor secured by threat or deterrence, but born from love, sustained by justice, and rooted in the dignity of every human being. A peace that is truly Catholic, in the original sense of the word, katholikos, meaning universal. The fragility and urgency of peace. Our world stands at a crossroads. The war in Ukraine has shattered the illusion that peace in Europe is permanent. The Holy Land bleeds, Syria, Yemen, the Sahel. Too many places remain caught in cycles of violence and despair. These conflicts are proof that diplomacy, international politics, economic agreements, and even institutional frameworks, however necessary, are not in themselves sufficient. Peace requires more than governance. It requires moral vision and the transformation of hearts. The world longs not merely for the cessation of violence, but for the healing of memory, the mending of relationships, and the restoration of hope. And that is precisely where religion must step in, not as a competitor to diplomacy, politics, or the structures of society, but as their soul. The Catholic vision of peace. The Church understands peace not merely as the absence of war, but as the presence of right relationship, that she calls an enterprise of justice. From the time of the Great War to today, papal teachings have constantly appealed for a peace based not on conquest, but on justice, grounded in truth, charity, freedom, and the inviolable dignity of the human person as its cornerstone. True peace walks the path of integral human development, for war is ultimately a failure of politics and of humanity. During the Regina Caeli prayer on the 11th of May, Pope Leo XIV echoed the powerful appeal of Pope Paul VI at the United Nations in 1965, saying, "Never again war." From the outset of his pontificate, his first words to the world called us to a peace that is humble, disarmed and disarming, and open to encounter. This is the task before us. Religion, a force for dialogue and unity. Some may argue that religion has caused division, and history bears this out. But as Pope Francis reminded us, it is not religion itself, but its distortion that leads to violence. Properly understood, religion binds, religare, to bind, uniting man to God and individuals to one another. It appeals not to coercion, but to conscience, not to vengeance, but to forgiveness. The human heart, as St. Augustine wrote, is restless until it rests in God, and that restlessness becomes conflict when the moral dimension is neglected. Indeed, many contemporary conflicts, whether in the Middle East, the Caucasus, Africa, or elsewhere, cannot be understood without recognizing the religious identities and spiritual longings of the peoples involved. The Holy See's diplomatic presence, rooted in moral credibility rather than military strength, enables it to speak to all sides, not with the logic of domination, but of dialogue. 4 pillars of the Holy See's approach to peace. The Holy See's approach to peace is grounded in 4 enduring convictions. First, human dignity. Every human life is sacred. No peace is possible if even one life is deemed expendable. Secondly, the common good. Peace must serve all, not just the strong, especially the poor, the displaced, the forgotten. Thirdly, solidarity. We are not isolated individuals, but one human family. Peace grows through interdependence. And fourthly, integral human development. As Pope Paul VI affirmed, development is the new name for peace, but not just any development. It must be integral, addressing every dimension of the human person and all peoples on earth. Interreligious dialogue, a shared responsibility. Peace can never be built by one people, one nation, or one religion alone, neither in the past nor in the present, nor in the days to come. It must always be a collaborative endeavor. Since Nostra Aetate, the Church has walked a new path of encounter with other religions, recognizing the seeds of truth and the desire for peace present in all. The Holy See engages in interreligious dialogue, not as a diplomatic courtesy, but as moral necessity. Jews, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, we all have a role to play in healing our world. Religion, not an obstacle, but a foundation. In a world that often relegates religion to the private sphere, the Holy See dares to say that religion, rightly lived, is not an obstacle to peace, but a necessary foundation for it. Peace requires more than politics. It requires healing, forgiveness, and moral clarity. What Pope Francis called a diplomacy of hope, not naive optimism, but a conviction that change is possible, that no conflict is beyond redemption. To conclude, building bridges, not walls. Let me turn in closing to the voice of the new Pope, Leo XIV. We are followers of Christ. Christ goes before us. The world needs his light. Help us, one and all, to build bridges through dialogue and encounter, joining together as one people, always at peace. This mission belongs to us all, whether diplomats, leaders, educators, or citizens. May we be builders of bridges, not barriers. May we remember that peace is not only a political goal, it is a human calling, a gift from God, and a task entrusted to every generation. And I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Archbishop Paul Gallagher. Peace is a moral necessity is, I think, a quote for us all to take home this evening. Well, that wraps up day 2 of GlobeSec 2025. Thanks for joining us here on the Havel stage for another plentiful day of discussions. A lot of topics were spanned on this stage today. We heard, of course, about security guarantees, the prospects for peace, the Vatican's potential role in providing a platform for that, of course, in Russia's illegal war against Ukraine. Turning away from the conflict, we also heard about the EU's green agenda, defence financing, and Europe's place in the emerging world order that we're seeing shake down around us, its own tech ambitions, and the path for peace in the Middle East. Okay, that's the formalities done. So for those who want to have a cocktail, the buses are leaving, in a couple of minutes from outside the front. We'll be having the buses to the cocktail party. Everyone is invited to this tonight. It's at Zoffen Palace. Buses are leaving at 7, 7:30 and 8 p.m, so plenty of time to catch one. Tomorrow morning, it's a 9 a.m. start back on all of these stages. We will have discussions on the future of multilateralism, AI's influence on news journalism, one particularly close to my heart. And I hope you come to this panel because I'm hosting this one right here on the Havel stage. It's about collective defence in the Euro-Atlantic and the Indo-Pacific. So see you all for the final day of GlobeSec 2025 tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. here on the stage, and enjoy your evening.